Oh my goodness, the last time in our war career mode, we have been mining. Yes, that's right, we built a mining machine, we got a load of coal, and we've brought it back to here. Today, I think we might actually use the coal, although we might not use the coal at the same time because we are either going to be building a steam locomotive or we're going to start building a steam warship. I think it'd be awesome to build a steam warship, so that might be what we end up doing with the coal today. I don't really know. Anyway, right now there's an enemy boat out there in the ocean somewhere that needs destroying. So let's go ahead and jump into our little helicopter, fly out there and destroy it. I think I might have done something to this because I believe my gyro isn't working right now. So there's a bit of a problem, but it's okay. So we're just going to fly out until we find this boat. It was down here before, but now apparently it's over the top. So we're going to continue flying that way and hopefully destroy him. Oh, is that it? That might be the enemy right there. Yes, it is. Let's have a little look at it. So before it actually fired at me very early, you know, one of the light ones. So we are going to take some hits on our front end, probably. I need to aim a lot higher if I want to hit them. A lot higher, apparently. All right, here we go. That might... Nope. That did. There we go. So we hit them once. Let's go ahead and try and hit them again. Oh, boy. There we go. That was a direct hit. Okay. Maybe let's not do it in... Oh! Okay, we got one direct hit, and they died. That was it. Very nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and fly back home. And we are already back home. Very nice. Very nice indeed. All right, let's go ahead and just park her up then, I guess. And then what we're going to do is have a little Google for some steam locomotives, and then maybe we can try and build one. Although I do want to build like a pretty decent sized steam warship. I think that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, I actually flew all the way from over here back to down here, but actually we need to go to Terminal Komodo to do this, because I don't actually own Terminal Spy Cakes right now, and it is 40,000. We do have enough money for it, but yeah, we're gonna get back in the helicopter, we're gonna fly all the way to Terminal Komodo, and then we're gonna start building a train. Alright, so it's a bit risky actually parking this in the water because, well, wait, actually, why is there so many ships out there? There's 1, 2, 3 boats that I can see, and I think there's another one over there. That's weird. Anyway, yes, oh, and there's one on our right. What in the world is going on here? Anyway, we need to descend, and I need to try and return this to the workbench in the sea workbench. But unfortunately, I can't park it in the sea because helicopters are a little bit sketchy in this game sometimes, where they might actually just kill you. So we're gonna, we're gonna lower ourselves down pretty close to the edge, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and push it into the sea. Whether that's a good or a bad idea, I don't really know, but let's go ahead and park. Whoa, why is it so... Oh, nice. Well, I guess we won't have an issue of chopping our heads off anymore, so that's good. Alright, there we go. Right, let's push it off. I can't. I might need to make a little vehicle that comes down and pushes this thing into the ocean. If this doesn't say edit, it says create, and yeah, that's a problem. Ah, come on, man. Alright, well, we haven't really created anything in this that drives, except from our mining vehicle, which clearly will not fit in this area. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to get a motor. We're going to attach it directly under here. We're going to get some motors on there as well. We're then going to get some wheels, and we're going to chuck those on. 5x5 suspension wheels. Pretty crazy. There we go, and there we go. And then, obviously, we need to invert one of the steering, and that's fine. But yes, we should be able to just drive into the helicopter and push it off, hopefully. So let's just go ahead and make ourselves a little, like, a little blade type dealio. There we go. And that should hopefully protect us. Maybe. We're then going to need some batteries, so let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. And chuck those on there. There's one. Actually, there's technically two, and there's four. Alright, this will be fine. Oh yeah! Alright, this should be able to just push it straight into the sea, but hopefully, anyway. It does still have a blade on the back, so I'm going to hope that that doesn't hit me. In fact, let's go ahead and just turn that off real quick. Hang on. Yeah, trying to stop an electric vehicle without... Right, whatever. I'm going. Here we go. Choppy, choppy. Get rid of that. Come back. Come back here, you. Okay, hopefully this works. All right, we don't care if we really ram it and destroy it a little bit because we're returning it to the workbench straight away anyway. All right, that does do a good job. That does do a good job. Excellent. And then we'll do this. Wait, why does it have all of its missiles? Oh, it's because I haven't used them on this one. That's fair. All right, push. Push. Uh-oh. Okay. All right, that's fine. It might be that it struggles because we're too close here. So I'm going to ram it a little bit more, and I'm going to get out of the water because I don't want to die. There we go. All right, we didn't die. Things are in the water. We should be good. I hope that it gets the car first because the car is currently rolling away. Never mind, it got the helicopter first. But now if I do this... Nope, there is just a car in the water at the bottom. Great. Ooh, right, how do I fix that situation? I have an idea. Alright, so, if you haven't watched any of these playthroughs before, I end up getting myself in the worst situations by, messing up my own things a bunch of times. But, today, I'm gonna fix things. Alright, diving equipment. Here we go. Chuck that on there. Spawn it in. There it is. Very bouncy. We attach that on. We grab it. Oh my. Oh, I hope this doesn't kill me, actually. Please don't kill me. I currently have a ballistic armor on. Alright, there we go. And now, we return this to the workbench. There we go. And then we jump in the ocean. And we drive this back to the base. I don't know if this is going to work. Because I don't know if there's anywhere we can actually drive it out of. Yeah, so it turns out getting some diving equipment on an electric vehicle, you can just drive it around under the water until you can get it back home. Bam! There we go. So, it appears it's time to start building a locomotive. Now, I'm going to do it in a similar style to real-life locomotives by adding a setup with 4 wheels at the front, 6 wheels in the middle, and possibly no wheels at the back. So, if we type in wheel, we're going to start with the middle ones, and they are going to be large. They're going to look like this. Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy. So there's 1, we're going to go with 2, and we're going to go with 3. This is the 6 that is in the center. What we're going to have to do from there is grab a piston drive, because these are going to be our drive pistons, and we're going to shove that on there like that. Let's see if that actually works. That is incorrect. I think they're actually upside down. I think this is upside down. So if I flip it over, put it back on there like that, spawn it in again, there we go. It is all linked up and set up ready to go. Good. What we then need to do is obviously add some wheels in front of this. So let's try and figure that bit out next. I'm going to send this guy forwards, and I guess we need the wheels to go on here somewhere. I don't really know how far forward they should be, though. Yeah, in fact, I really don't know. Okay, so after looking at some pictures, maybe we go with the slightly smaller ones, and we chuck these just here-ish. Just here, kind of, maybe. I don't know. Kind of like just underneath the actual drive piston. That makes sense, I feel. Possibly. They are on there the wrong way around, so let's go ahead and put them on there the right way around, like this, and chuck them literally right there. Actually, maybe a little bit further forward. Let's go with right here. There's 1, and there's 2. Okay, very nice. Delete these guys, going backwards. Delete that guy as well. We'll connect all of this together, just like so. And I guess just like this as well. There we go. Takes up a little bit of room, but that's okay. Spawn it in. It's all flat. It's all touching the ground, I think. That is excellent. I think sometimes these kinds of locomotives, sometimes, maybe, possibly, have another wheel back here. Now, what I want to try and do is make it tenderless, which sort of makes it into a tank engine, which is weird, sort of, in some ways. Because, realistically, you don't want a big train that is a tank engine, because it has to carry all of its own coal inside the cab. But, I don't know, I don't really want to tow a tender. So, let's figure that out. Yeah, I'm actually thinking we move this guy forwards a tiny touch. So instead of it being here, it's going to go there. I'm going to attach all of this together with these guys. So let's just do this. And on this side, do the same thing. There we go. So that doesn't look too crazy anymore, but it still looks good, I think. Okay, so from here, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and build this bit upwards to the top of the wheel, all the way forwards to about there. Then we're going to go ahead and have this little side piece added on, which is crazy, to be honest. But what I think I'll do is actually build this out to the side, just like this. There we go. We're then going to go ahead and get ourselves a door, which isn't actually a door, it's just this piece that I wanted. And we're going to send that all the way to the front, just like so. All right, very nice. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then we're going to do this, and this, and this. Okay, so far that looks pretty stupid. I don't know how to feel about that just yet. I need to fill in this little area around here a little bit better, but once we've done that, we should start to make it look nicer. Alright, I've changed all the colors. It looks a bit crazy right now. Everything is very grey, but I think what I'll do is I'll grab this color for now, and I'm just going to go ahead and start painting around and try and make a lot of it look a different color. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this down the back end, but let's try. There we go. Very nice. Keep it going all the way down there, and that's okay. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to sort out this front end just yet, but we'll try and figure that out. In fact, actually, what if we started trying to do a bit of a circle on the front right now? So let's do this. There we go. Up 1, down 1. We're then going to attach this guy onto here like this. All right, bit crazy, but sure. We're then going to attach this guy onto here, and then... All right, it would be nice to attach them both together, but actually, what if we do make it sort of oval rather than circular? That could look pretty cool too. So let's go up. There we go. Delete this guy. Chuck that on there. Send it across. And that looks interesting. I don't think I like it though. I don't know, guys. That is circular, but it also looks like it's in the wrong area. So if I was to build this backwards, for example, I would obviously have to do this. And it doesn't really fit. Well, it sort of does, but it sort of doesn't at the same time. And I don't know how to feel about that. But maybe it's okay. So let's do this backwards anyway. For now, hopefully. Sure. We're going to go ahead and delete this all the way... Oh, it doesn't even go that far back. Where does this go to? Just here. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and attach this guy on as well. All the way backwards to there. We're then going to build it around the top edge. Like this. There we go. And then continue it around, doing this one. Okay, and I guess this one as well. Yes. Alright, but actually in this color, obviously. Okay, right, so we've got ourselves a cylinder. Okay. That's kind of interesting so far. Alright, I feel like we can sort of work with this, maybe. It looks a little bit strange, obviously, because the wheels are going in there. But what if we decided... to maybe delete the bits around the wheels themselves so that they still work normally. Maybe. There we go. Delete those. Delete this. And then we backplated those. So let's say we built these up like this. Aha. Yeah, I feel like that works. That totally works, right? Sure. Looks a little bit weird in there, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. We're then going to go and attach these guys onto there because... we still actually get kind of a nice shape out of it, and that's good. I think. That's good, maybe. Alright, yeah. So shove that on there. Go ahead and flip it around. Put it on there as well. Alright, spawn it in. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we could go with that. Okay, I filled in the front end because I feel like that was the good idea to do. We're then going to go ahead and fill in the centerpiece, just like this, because honestly, I feel like this is the best way of doing it. So we're going to go ahead and chuck that on there like that. That looks alright. Once we add pipes and stuff like that, we might be able to make this bit look better. With that being said, can I put a crank in there? Crank. I don't know whether this is going to make it look better or worse, but we're going to put a crank right in the center. Okay, so far, it is very much looking sort of steam locomotive-esque, so I'm happy with it. Alright, I'm now going to go ahead and put some door bits on this bit instead, because I do want like a side rail going down the edge, and that is going to allow us to do it. So, if I delete this piece down here, we attach this guy onto there and there, we can actually hook it in. What I want to do is do it right here as well, so delete these two, fill that in as well. Obviously, it is clipping with the wheels slightly, but there's not much I could do about that. So we'll leave it as is, and I'm sure that'll be fine. Yes, connect the last piece up as well. We are going to need to obviously add a cabin on this, but that's okay. Alright, so far so good. At the very front, we're going to delete most of these. Going forwards, I'm going to refill it with this. We're going to send this guy forwards, and we're going to attach this guy onto there, like that. There we go. We are obviously going to need to send a pipe inwards, though, because this is how it works. Yes! Alright, pipe. Send it this way, and send it in. And we should be good, I think. Maybe. Who knows? Nobody knows. Oh, yeah. Cool. We do still need something going on underneath here. We still need a buffer on the front. We need a buffer on the back. And we still need the cabin on the back, too. Alright, let's continue with the front then and try and make it look nice enough, maybe, and go from there. So we're going to attach those guys on. We're going to go ahead and lower this down by possibly just one. There we go. And we'll put the buffer plate directly on the front of this. Maybe. Is there a way of me making this look nicer? I don't really know. So if I maybe attach this guy on there, and then we, I don't know, seal this up, I guess. Just do this straight across the front. Yeah, that looks all right, I guess. And then we obviously need the buffer plate, which is going to be a little bit bigger than this. So we're going to shove that on there, do this down here, paint it probably bright red. Yes, maybe not that bright. Red, there we go, paint it red. And that looks okay to me. Yeah, I don't know whether we do another one or not, but maybe. So let's just do that for now. I am also just going to go ahead and change this to be one of these. We are obviously going to have to paint the edges and the rear to make that look nice, and I feel like that looks okay. We then obviously need the buffers, and I'm just going to go with tank thingamabobbies. Here we go. They're a bit big, so we got to go with the small ones, and that's fine. Alright, I feel like that's okay. Maybe. I've increased the size of the dark bit right here because, well, I want to go ahead and add, if I can, a thingamabobby, a funnel. No, well, kind of. Yeah, so that's going to go on there like that, kind of, maybe. And then we obviously need to just build it up and make it look nice from here. So, 1, 2, 3. I kind of don't want it to be this shape. Look at it. Yeah, that ain't it. That, although it could be. It could be it, but it's not, you know? It could be it, but it's not. Although maybe it is. So let's just go ahead and chuck these guys across the top. We'll do that, we'll do this, and we'll seal it all together. So that goes there, and that goes here. And then we'll just do these guys. Alright, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And this one. And finally, this one. And now, let's get rid of all those edge pieces. And I actually think that'll look nicer. Yeah. Okay, we got ourselves a bit of a funnel going on. It looks weird, but we got one. I might actually extend this backwards 2 more, and then extend this backwards by 1, and I think that'll look great. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it looks alright, but I don't know if it's great. The other thing that I kind of wanted to do was get a spotlight. This is the closest to what I can actually get, so I'm going to chuck it on here like this. We're going to set a number to 1, and it's going to naturally point forwards. I think that'll be good. So constant number. We're going to go ahead and chuck it directly up here. We're going to connect this guy directly onto there. Set this number to 1. I don't have a 1 key. I keep forgetting that I don't have a 1 key. There we go. And then let's go ahead and... what's the other thing I needed to do? Get a battery so we can check it out. Alright, so chuck a battery in here. Bit crazy, but there you go. 2 batteries. Connect this to here. Connect that to there. Spawn it in. It should point forwards. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. Alright, so we got all of this somewhat sorted. We could have the cab sort of suspended in the air, or we can just go ahead and add another wheel or 2 underneath it. So, let's do that. Let's figure out how far away this is from that one, which it appears to be 2 away, and then just do the same thing back here. Sort of. Maybe. Sort of maybe. So, grab this, go 1, 2... Well, you know what, actually we'll just do that for now. We'll grab one of these. We'll chuck it on here, like this. We'll go 2 away, which is there. We'll then skip a little section. There we go. And we'll chuck this one on here as well, just like this. All right. It is the wrong way around, so let's go and put that one on the right way around. That one on the right way around. Spawner in. Hopefully it's all looking all right. And it is. All right, so trying to make a cabin on here is going to be interesting. I don't really know how I'm going to go about doing it. I think adding this piece directly onto there makes sense. We can then go ahead and do this out to the side. Keep it going backwards, just like so. And then actually just zooming this backwards might make sense. And then building the cabin on top of there, I guess will be fine. Although, I don't know whether we keep this sort of straight going upwards or not. You know, we could also actually have it come out to the side a little bit. So let's say we attach this guy back onto there. We could do this. Yeah, and then we could actually have this guy go upwards like that. Yeah, maybe? I don't know. And then we could sort out the cabin from there. Alright, so let's say that goes backwards. I don't know, I feel like this bit looks a bit weird. I don't know. So we've currently got ourselves a bit of a box going on here, which is obviously in the color of the main locomotive, which is fine. We just need to try and figure out a way of adding making the cab look nice. And I don't know what the way of making the cab look nice actually is. I love the idea of using maybe like one of these, right? And then maybe switching it over to one of these, but that would mean we have to do an overhang right here, and that seems very sort of American train-esque. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like, kind of. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But then obviously we'd go ahead and paint the roof a different color, so we just do this. Alright, so far so good, I guess. And then we need windows and stuff like that. So we'd have like a big old window here, I think. Alright, here we go. So grab this, chuck it in there. Kind of want it on the interior as well, so instead of it being like on this outside patch, it's actually on the inside patch. That makes sense. Alright, do that bit right there, do that bit right there. Then we're gonna have to add all the windows down the sides, and I don't know how many to do, so let's say that one goes right there. We would then have another one behind it, maybe? And then one on the door. So maybe we'd have one there, and then one on the door like this. Okay, so grab the door one, that goes in there. Grab the window one, that goes in here. Alright, like this. And then we'll grab the other window one, which is a 3x3, that goes in there like that. Okay. It does look a bit weird. I think it might be too tall. I genuinely don't really know. I think let's try and drop it down a little bit, and maybe that'll make it look nicer, but I have no idea. Alright, so cut it. There we go. Drop it down. Yeah, I feel like that does actually make it look better. So we'll put it here instead. Alright, merge it together. Delete this guy. Delete all of these, all of this, and that one. And seal all the rest of it off. Yes. So this all goes down there. That's fine. We are obviously going to add a firebox in here somewhere. So that should work. And that'll be all good. So paint these guys all the way around. Paint the bottom. Paint this piece all the way around there. And all the way down here. Oh, there's so much to paint. This is crazy. Yep. There we go. And then this bit. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And that's all good. All right. Let's add the windows. And hopefully that looks nicer. I would say that probably does look nicer, but again, I don't really know. We're just going to go with it for now. Anyway, we need the door to work, so this right here is going to be our door. I am actually going to go ahead and paint this little bit in a dark grey as well. We had dark grey literally everywhere, don't we? That's crazy. And what I might actually do as well is delete these pieces right here and just add windows. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best looking thing in the world to do, but let's add a window in there, and we'll add a window in here. We'll paint all the edges, and hopefully that looks okay. Alright, paint it, paint it, paint it. And paint this piece and this piece. And these guys. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm sure it's fine. And there we go. So I've changed that up a little bit. I've actually changed the windows to be on the outside rather than the inside. Only on this front section. I've added some handles up there. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And this is what it looks like from the inside. Once we put a furnace thingamabobby in here, a firebox. In fact, let's put that in now. Firebox. Media, no, like a small one. Yeah, once we put this in here, we should be good. I think we're at the right height too. We are. Okay, very good. So, now that the firebox is actually in here, we can seal this little section off a little bit. I actually really like putting a duct on top of here, so I'm going to do that. Duct, here we go. It adds a little bit of storage that we actually desperately need. This front section of wall as well is actually going to be dark. It's going to be in this grey colour. I'm going to fix that in there. I'm going to fix this in here. Let's just whack that guy on there like that. We're then going to actually add this guy down here like this. I will actually add a bit onto here like so. Like that, I guess. There we go. And this piece onto here like this. It just builds the area up a little bit. It does look a little bit like a fireplace, but that's sort of okay, because it kind of is one. Alright, good. In the floor, I actually really like the idea of dipping it down and in. However, that only really works if this is... Yeah, it's fine. Right, we're going to leave that like that. That's okay. I'm going to put a button directly above it, and that is going to be to turn it on. And I'm going to have it pointing downwards. That's fine. So, start. Fire. Yeah, there we go. Connect that to the electricity and connect it down into here. So that starts the firebox. Good. Alright, so far so good. Okay, throttle is going to go directly in the center. This is going to control how much air is getting into the firebox, I believe, in order for this thing to go forwards. I feel like that makes sense. Maybe. Unless we actually put a control valve on the steam coming out of the boiler, I guess that could work too. Anyway, boiler is the next thing. We're going to have a few boilers in a row. I don't know whether you can attach them onto each other or not. So steam out. If I put steam out straight into here, does that work? I actually don't know. I don't know whether we can have water in, go into steam, which then is... I don't know. I don't know if this works like this. Maybe I should just do it with one for now. Or maybe we could have multiple. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember how it works. You know what? Because I don't want to go ahead and proceed if I don't know how it works in terms of boilers, do I put them together or not? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments down below. But because I don't really know how that works, I'm not going to continue on with the building of this today, because I don't want to have to delete everything and start it all again. But we do obviously have a good base right here, which we can obviously build onto next time. What I said at the start, though, about having its own hoppers and stuff like that isn't really going to work. I think we are still going to need a tender, which kind of is annoying. But it is what it is. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this build, though. I actually really like it so far. I think it looks great. But obviously it needs to work. So, yeah. You know what, actually? Maybe we should give it a go. Alright, so the way this works then is we get ourselves some pipes. And we need to send it into these. So one of these goes into one side, one of them goes into the other side, and that's literally it. So bring these backwards, go ahead and pipe it upwards, like this. There we go, send it up to the top, send it over the top, just like so, and send it. Yes. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and zoom this all the way at the end for now. Obviously, it is going to change on both sides. So, this one can be the one that goes in here, into B. Okay, we're going to send it into B on all of them. So, let's put B there, and B here. And then on the other side, we're going to go to A, we're going to go to A, and we're going to go to A. Alright, very nice. Delete this guy, and this guy. Chuck that directly on there like that, into there. Very good. We're then going to have to delete these ones, and use the T-pieces to fit those together. There we go. Alright. That works, and you guessed it, that works. Good. Alright, so that's all connected together. We now have steam out. Essentially, the steam out needs to go into the steam in on here, which is not this one. So we're going to do that by actually going to here. We're going to send it from the underside straight through the side right here. Maybe, if I can get to it. There we go. And then we're going to send it upwards from there. Well, actually, backwards and then upwards. All right, backwards and then upwards. All right, very good. So, weirdly... Ooh, how is this going to work? Delete this guy and send that upwards. That's going to go into a condenser. This one is going to get sent straight across, and then it's going to go down into there, because that is going to be the steam in. There we go. And then this one is where the steam goes into from here. So we'll send that down. We'll attach that to there. I don't know. I haven't built a proper steam engine in such a long time. This is crazy. All right, send that into here. There we go. Then this one gets sent through condensers, and that should be fine. We do need to cool the condensers as well, but I think that is something we can do. Maybe. Okay, let's do it. So this side should be water out, which it is. So we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of condensers. I don't know whether that's the way this works or not, but essentially the steam out, which is this piece right here, needs to go into each of these. The water then needs to get sent from here back to the front and into there. Alright, so let's go ahead and angle this one upwards to begin with, then angle it sideways, send this guy out to the edge, grab the angled dude, the angled doohickey, there we go, shove that on there, send it to the front, and hopefully that'll be fine. We also need to worry about actually protecting this thing, so we might have to build some sort of armored cart as well. I think that'd be really awesome. I think that'd be really, really cool. To drag behind, or whatever. Anyway, pipe. Let's go ahead and connect that guy directly under there. Very good. Delete this one. Add this guy directly under there. This one onto there. This one onto there. Very good. We're then going to sort this side out, so let's shove one of these guys right here. We're going to put the pipes in, all the way to here. We're going to angle this one, like so. We're going to delete this guy, put a T-piece in there, actually. There we go, delete that, put a T-piece in there, and put an angled piece in here, just like that. And I think if we connect all this together, maybe, just maybe, we'll actually have a working steam engine, sort of. I know in real life, they could actually carry their own water, so maybe we actually put a water tank in here as well, that is refillable, and I feel like that would make sense. Okay, the next thing that I'm about to do is kind of dumb, in fact, very, very dumb. We're gonna go ahead and put a thingamabobby right here. This is to try and cool it down. I think what we could actually do is get away with one condenser, but having it cooled rapidly by a bunch of radiators. But I don't know if that's quite the way that it works or not. I actually have no idea. So maybe. But if I put that on there, does it connect straight onto this one? No. Alright, good. So realistically, I think we can actually just have them all connect together, can't we? Yeah. Alright, I don't think that's enough cooling. I don't actually think that'll be enough cooling. But we'll let it happen anyway. So as soon as the firebox goes on, we're going to start cooling down the steam. Yes. Does that even make sense? Who knows? I have no idea. Alright, temperature is right there. Fluid volume is right there if we need it. That's all good. What I might also do is actually add some water tanks in here as well. Just to boost it a bit. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and delete, like, a bunch of these. And we're just going to go ahead and shove some water tanks directly down the side. All the way down here. Set this to water, if we can. There you go, fresh water. And that is extra water that we can have. Alright, very good. Very good indeed. There we go. Okay, so the only thing missing from this then is the exhaust, which is obviously going to have to go all the way to the front and up through the funnel. Which I might not be able to get to properly. Have I really built it so that it's hard to get to? Sort of. That's really annoying. Alright, here we go. So pipes. We're going to go ahead and shove that guy in there. We're going to have to angle a pipe sideways. Send it to the edge. And then send it round. And hopefully that'll be good. Yep, so that goes there. We grab this guy. We send it all the way back to here. We then attach it onto this guy. And that'll be good. The air supply, I think I'm just going to send the air supply straight up through the center and straight out through the top. It doesn't really have to be anything fancy, so yeah, that works. Alright, connect that onto there. We're going to go ahead and shoot this way and shoot this upwards, and that'll be great. Although, I've just thought of something. Hold on. Send this this way instead, and then up. We're also going to do the same thing right here. And if you're wondering why, it's because we can actually fit another duct on here. And if we can fit another duct, that's perfect, actually. There we go. So send this up. Bosh, there we go. Grab another duct. Oh, we can't because of these pieces. But if I move these pieces, we probably could. Is it only an extra one? It is. Can I fit that if I move these? I can move them sideways. Right, I'm going to do that there as well. And then we've got extra coal supply right here. And there we go, we did it. All right, cool. So now that we've done that, we just need to do the air supply. Once we've done the air supply, we can actually test this thing out for the first time. How does that feel? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this just yet. But delete that guy right there. We're going to add some fluid ports on the top. We're actually going to go with a few. I don't want it to just be one, because I think it'll look nicer. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. We'll actually do 4. I might check some on the side as well at some point, but this is fine for now. All right, let's test it out. All right, guys, there she is. So let's go ahead and jump inside this to begin with. This is, of course, a bed. We're going to go to sleep through the night so that we can see the thing during the day. All right, very good. So start the firebox. Open up the air. Actually, the air is actually fully open constantly, so that's not great. That is something I need to fix. That right there is our speedo. Down here we have 2 dials that don't do anything, but that's okay. We just want to see if this thing will move to begin with. Yeah. All right, let's have a little look at this. So our boiler temperature is not actually going up. It's not going up whatsoever. Interesting. And I know why. I never connected the exhaust. Alright, so let's connect the exhaust up then. So pipe, we're going to go ahead and just shove it upwards twice. No, actually just once. But not like that, actually. If I delete this, check that on there. Check that on there. There we go. Alright, we're then going to do these guys on the sides. There we go. We need the corner pieces next. These ones. Check that on there, and there. And then go to fluid ports. And we should be good to go after this. Yeah, I think we just didn't have any exhaust. So now we're good. Maybe. We still need a whistle. Don't get me wrong, we still need a whistle. Alright, jump inside. There we go. Start the boiler again. Let's see if this works. Oh, the firebox. And the temperature is going right up. There we go. Coolant is working. Temperature is rising. That is fantastic. Yeah, look, the exhaust's happening too. Now, some of you might be saying, you are wasting coal by doing this. Yes, sort of, but also it needs testing. So we're going to be doing a lot of wasting coal, unfortunately. But thankfully, I don't think we're going to be wasting that much, to be honest. I just want to see if this actually slips forwards. I'll have no control over wheel slip because I don't actually have a throttle. This isn't connected to anything. I should have fixed that, but never mind. We should be moving right now. We should be moving. Unless we're waiting for the next boiler to heat up. And then the next boiler after that. And then the next boiler after that. That could be the case, actually. We might be waiting for the next few boilers to heat up. I don't know. We'll give it a few more seconds. And then, if it doesn't work, we'll try and fix it. I waited a little while, and no, it's not actually working out, and I don't know why, so we gotta try and figure that bit out. I think what's happening, well, it could actually be that I've connected all this up wrong, I'm not gonna lie. So that goes down, and then it comes across, does it? Yeah, it comes across and in, so this is obviously steam in. Then we've got steam out, which sends it out and across. There we go, it then goes down and into here, which then sends it backwards and out into this, which is steam in. Steam out then comes out of here, gets piped through there, gets piped up into the condensers. So that is actually all correct. I think the issue comes from the boilers all being attached together. So I think maybe if we move them apart by one, we send the steam separately out the sides into this, and then maybe that'll be okay. Yeah. Alright, let me go ahead and move each of these forwards by one, and hopefully that will be good. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully we got enough room for it too. Oh, I didn't think about it right, but we had to move them forwards twice, which means I've got rid of one of the condensers, which means I need to get rid of that. Okay, yeah, still interesting. We still might be able to be okay here, but I don't know. I don't know. Right, angles. We're gonna go with one of these. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna attach that guy under there. We're gonna attach this guy onto here. Very good. We'll attach that guy under there. That goes straight into here. And then we'll send it across. We'll then angle it upwards, angle it sideways, angle it upwards again, and then go this way by one, and then angle it this way, and then send it down the side. Yeah, whee! All the way back to the beginning. I think. No, not quite. What is this? What is this? No, this is where the steam goes. All right, not all the way to the start. It just has to go to the first boiler. And then into here. And then we need to do the same thing into here. So delete this guy, grab ourselves another one of these, and send it this way. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3. Actually, we only need 2. That's good. We're then going to do the same thing right here, except it's just an angled piece. There we go. 1 and 2. And then we'll pipe it in. So that guy goes there and there. We're going to do this one. So up and in. Yeah. This one is going to obviously need water on this side. Don't know how to control how much water goes into each of these just yet, because I don't know how much each of these needs. But I'm hoping that it just works. That is very wishful thinking right there, but it is what it is. Alright, send it that way. Go ahead and attach this guy onto there. Do this. 1, 2. We're good. Alright, so in this situation then, is it going to work? Who knows? So, this time we can see that Boiler 1 is getting up to 93, whereas Boiler 2 is up to 51, and Boiler 3, which is the one at the end, is up to 66, which is really weird. So this one's at max temperature, well, not max temperature, but a good temperature. Then we got that one at, like, less, and then that one at more. I don't understand. Anyway, we are moving, so this is good. However, we are currently only using one boiler. The other 2 boilers haven't actually come online yet, and I don't know whether if they come online, we're going to increase our speed from 50 or not. So I'm going to allow this to keep running until we figure that out. Also, I will keep an eye on how much coal we've got, but for now, we do have enough. So, yeah, we're currently scooting, actually. This is pretty good. Apparently, we're already going 123 miles an hour, so realistically, we don't need to go any faster. For a steam locomotive, that is actually pretty quick, I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember what the Mallard does. I think it's actually pretty close to what the Mallard does. I'm not even... yeah, that's crazy. We might even beat what the Mallard does. But anyway, this one is already up to 98, so as soon as it hits 100, we might see a speed boost. Maybe. Or not, apparently. No, I think we only need one boiler. Although we are up to like 60 meters per second, which is pretty fast. And then if this one hits, maybe we'll get even faster? I don't know, we're on our way to the Arctic now, by accident. I want to see this hit 100 just to see how fast it goes. I'm not gonna lie. We're just sending it. we are just sending it. Okay, keep it going. Fluid volume is going down. Fluid volume is still maximum pretty much in both of those, though. Okay, boiler temperature is staying at about 123. Alright, okay. Yep, so that's staying at about 60. Once this hits 100, we'll see if it gets faster than 60. We might not need 3 boilers. But I don't know. I think the boilers just help it get up to temperature quicker, right? Is that not how this works? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know, but we're flying, so I'm really happy. But, like, at the same time, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, we're at 61. As soon as this hits 100, we might get a speed boost, but we might not. I'm not sure. Surely having 3 boilers just increases how much steam we are producing. Like, that's the way I see it, but I could be very, very wrong. Also, it is struggling to get to 100. Interesting. Maybe if we add a bunch of a bunch of valves in there, maybe we can actually set it up so that each of them get to 100 at the same time. That would make sense. Also, this one's about to run out of fluid. And I don't know what happens when that happens. Alright, we're at 100. We're currently going 65 meters per second. Oh my goodness. Okay, apparently the Mallard went like 123 or something, which is less than what we're doing now because we're currently doing 145. Okay, let's go ahead and slap the reverser on. Hopefully it works, because if it doesn't, I'm pushing this all the way back. And now we gotta go all the way back home. Hopefully it sends me in the right direction. I think we're gonna get sent the wrong way here, so I need to look behind me, see if I can see the lights on the things. I can't see them yet, and that's a problem. Let's slow it down, actually. We can just do this. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're getting sent the wrong way. But that might be okay. Hang on. Reverse a little bit more. Yep, just reverse a little bit more. If I start going forwards from this point back here, maybe it'll send me the right way anyway. Maybe. Who knows? Alright. Yep, I think it will. Whoop. Okay. I should probably use the brakes as well. I do actually have brakes, but we're not using them. I think it's going to send me to the right. Yes, it is. Whew, we didn't even have to get out the locomotive to do that. Beautiful. I totally forgot we were actually in a war playthrough, so I need to keep an eye out for actual warships. On our testing there, we could have been hit by this guy's missiles at some point, and that would have been really bad. So yes, adding chaff to a steam locomotive is actually something we are going to need to do. We also still need to add lights to this thing, and, well, actually, there's a lot of things we still need to add. But I'm very happy with the way that it is currently working. So, there it is. Alright, very nice. What do you guys think of it? Let me know. Anyway, for right now, I'm going to end this video here. If you have any tips in the comments down below, that would be a great place to put them. And yeah, that would be pretty good. I do think I will add a tender onto here. I think I need some sort of gun carriage as well. That would be pretty good. And then obviously it needs to be able to tow something for cargo, because we need to head all the way up north and grab ourselves some propellant. But obviously we need to be able to defend ourselves on the way there, just in case any enemy vessels decide to attack me. But yeah, we're good. Anyway, for now, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.